So, what is a business operating system? A business operating system, or business OS, is the integrated set of frameworks, information flows, processes, and rituals that translate strategic intent into coordinated action across your organization. Think of it as your company's central nervous system. When it works, information flows where it needs to go, teams self organize around what matters, and you can see in real time whether you're on track or need to adjust. So, in this briefing, I will break down what a good business OS contains and why having one matters. As a leader, your mandate is business health and growth. You will know that this doesn't happen through heroic efforts and all hands on deck chaos. It happens when you focus your collective productivity and intellect on what matters most. Did you know that for every 100 employees you have, business operating system directs over 170,000 hours of time? This precious time is lost when it's not focused. It's wasted on unnecessary meetings, context switching, slow decision making, cross-functional coordination overhead, and perhaps a lack of energy or engagement. Intellect is missing when poor planning processes don't capture your best potential choices and narrow them down to the best and the right ones. So simply put, your business OS is there to optimize time and choices. There are 4 core pillars to a business OS. The first pillar is strategic clarity, which needs to be at every level. In a functioning business OS, anyone in the company can see your strategy. And what's more, they understand it and what it means for them. Your strategy is not buried in a slide deck from the last offsite. Instead, it's a living, breathing asset that's being referenced and used. You've got a metrics model that shows which measurements actually drive the strategy and the business. You've got strategic goals like OKRs, providing that focal point for what are often cross-functional teams to direct their efforts and really make progress. The second pillar is coordinated action. And that means without micromanagement. Your business OS should enable execution through these 5 things: strategically aligned OKRs and initiatives that translate strategy into focused work, intelligent experiments and valuable learnings, health metrics dashboards that monitor BAU performance so OKRs can focus on transformation and growth, decision right frameworks that eliminate the bottlenecks where everything flows through you, ideas boards that create a rational process for evaluating opportunities instead of biases like the loudest voice winning, and issues boards that escalate problems for discussion in weekly meetings. The third pillar is the operating rhythm that drives accountability. Your business OS establishes the cadence. Quarterly planning cycles ensure strategy stays fresh and teams commit to those outcomes. That's called adaptive strategy. Monthly reviews surface what's working and what needs to change. Weekly team rituals are where progress is optimized, issues are surfaced, experiments decided, learning shared, wins celebrated, and of course the week's priorities also decided. To be clear, these aren't bureaucratic update meetings. They're the heartbeat of how you operate. They're predictable. They're just how we work here. That's the opposite of chaos. The fourth pillar is incentivization of the right things. Your business OS needs to align incentives so people naturally do what's best for the company. You need reward structures that encourage putting company goals before departmental silos, recognition systems that celebrate collaboration and shared success, not individual heroics, compensation approaches that tie rewards to collective outcomes and cross-functional wins. When your incentives are architected correctly, people put the company first and team before self. Not because they have to, but because that's what they're incentivized to do. As a business leader, you are the architect of this system, not the operator, the architect. Your job is to design how your company thinks, decides, and operates, to choose the right frameworks, to establish the right rhythms, to create the conditions where talented people can focus on what matters, operate efficiently, and contribute fully. But let me be very clear about something. A business OS is not a software platform. Yes, the name might suggest otherwise, and yes, tools and platforms can help centralize and coordinate your operating system. But software is just that, a tool that supports the OS. It's not the OS itself. Your business OS is how your organization thinks, decides, and operates. It's the shared understanding of what matters. It's the cadence of planning and review. It's the team's habits. Things like check-ins on key results that happen every week. It's the managers who instinctively ask, what does success look like before greenlighting work? It's the reflex to look at your metrics tree when debating priorities. Software can support this. It can make the invisible visible. It can centralize your strategy so it's not lost in slide decks. It can surface the metrics that matter. It can make OKR progress visible. It can remind teams when rituals are due. But it cannot replace human behaviors, rituals, and mental models that make an operating system real. So you know when your business OS is working when teams run their weekly check-ins on experiments and priorities without being reminded. Strategic conversations naturally reference your metrics model and tree, whether or not someone has opened the dashboard. Managers instinctively coach to measurable outcomes instead of task completion. Your quarterly planning rhythm is something teams look forward to, not a painful event that they dread. Decision rights are clear enough that people make calls confidently without escalating everything to you. New hires understand how we operate here within weeks, not months. You've probably guessed, I strongly believe that a business operating system isn't a nice to have. It's not overhead, it's not bureaucracy. It's the infrastructure that enables execution. And building one is the most important job leaders have. There are a few proprietary business OSs out there. EOS has created one for small businesses, and Franklin Covey has built one for large enterprise. Both use trademark names for things like goals. At Zockery, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel or trademark best practices and names for things like goals when OKRs are great when used correctly, or for initiatives when concepts like activities and experiments exist. Even in the case of EOS, a simple meeting agenda they call Level 10 for some reason really is just some common meeting topics and best practices. Our approach is what might be considered an open source business OS, built from proven frameworks and evidence-backed best practices. What it also does is scale. We use it for 50-person companies and 5,000-person companies, and it works brilliantly. So if you'd like to know more, get in touch.